Is Virginia Beach safe? What about Norfolk? See, if you're moving to Hampton Roads or PCSing to Norfolk, you're probably Googling that question right now. That's how you landed on this video. But here's the problem. Most people are reading random forum posts and making $400,000 decisions based on outdated crime stats that they don't even know how to interpret. See, I watched a family almost walk away from the perfect house because they saw one dot of a sex offender registry and panicked. They didn't know how to read the data, and honestly, most people don't. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to check crime stats in Virginia Beach and Norfolk for yourself the right way. You're going to learn how to pull up the crime maps, filter them so that they actually make sense, interpret sex offender registries without freaking out, and understand what those school rating websites are actually telling you. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a system, not my opinion, not some random person's opinion on Reddit, but a system based on public data that you can use to make your own informed decisions. Let me show you how. Hey friends, I'm Sonali Hutson, and I've helped hundreds of families relocate to Hampton Roads over the last decade. I specialize in helping Christians move with clarity, protect their finances, and choose homes that align with their budget and their values. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is relying on vague answers to the safety question they ask their agent. Is this neighborhood safe? And expect a yes or no answer. But here's the thing, as a realtor, I legally cannot tell you that. It's called steering, and fair housing law prohibits it. But what I can do is teach you how to research it for yourself. So that's actually what we're gonna do today in this video. Okay, real quick, I need to say this once and then I promise we're gonna move on. Y'all, I am a licensed realtor and fair housing law is very clear. I cannot neighborhoods as safe or unsafe. My job isn't to tell you where to live. My job is to show you where to find the facts so you can make your own informed decision. All right, I said what I needed to say, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the first tool you need to learn how to use is your city's crime mapping tool. If you're researching safe neighborhoods in Virginia Beach or Norfolk, this is where you're going to usually start. Now, let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? Now, I'm going to pull up the crime map here on the screen. This is what crime mapping tools look like. You're going to see a map of the city with little dots or icons representing reported incidents. Now, here's where most people mess this up. They're going to see a bunch of dots and immediately they're going to panic. They're going to be like, oh, Lord Jesus, my life is in jeopardy. Y'all, don't do that. Don't be dramatic like me, okay? Crime maps are only useful if you know how to filter them. Most of these tools let you set a date range. I recommend looking at the past 90 days to get a full picture, not just a random week. And you need to filter by crime type. Property crimes like theft and burglary are very different from violent crimes like rape and assault. Lumping them together does not help you, okay? Here's an example. Let's say you're looking at a neighborhood near town center in Virginia Beach. You see 30 incidents in the past 90 days. That sounds like a lot, right? But when you filter it, 25 of those are shoplifting at the mall. Those aren't happening on residential streets. They're clustered around the shopping center. So it looks a lot of crime, but you've got to take it in perspective. You see the difference? Context matters. A cluster of incidents at a specific location, like a gas station or a commercial area, tells you something very different than scattered incidents across an entire neighborhood. Now, once you've filtered by date and crime type, here's the next level. Compare it to other areas. Most people skip this step, and that's a mistake. Let's say you pull up the crime map for a neighborhood you're considering, and you see 15 burglaries in the past 90 days. Is that a lot? I don't know. And honestly, neither do you until you compare it to the rest of the city. Does that make sense? See, pull up a different neighborhood. How many burglaries did that neighborhood have? What's the citywide average of burglaries? If the neighborhood you're looking at has 15 burglaries and the city averages 12, that's relatively in line. If the city averages 3, that's a different story. You need that comparison to understand what the data is actually telling you. Now, here's the last thing I want you to look for. Patterns versus isolated incident. If you see one assault incident on a random Tuesday at 2 a.m., that's an isolated event. If you see 5 assault incidents on the same block over 3 months, that's a pattern, and that's something that you might want to be concerned about. Those are two very different risk profiles. Does that make sense? See, most crime mapping tools let you click on each incident to see the date, the time, and the type of offense. Use that. Don't just count the dots, read the details. I don't want you to go off the deep end. I just want you to know that there is a resource that you can use. Now let's talk about sex offender registry. Under federal law, every state has a public public sex offender registry. You can Google Virginia Sex Offender Registry or whatever state you're in and you'll find it. It's free, it's public, and it shows you the addresses of registered sex offenders. Now here's what I need you to understand before you even open up that website. The presence of a registered offender near a property does not mean the area is unsafe. And the absence of one does not mean that the area is safe, okay? I know you're like, okay, Sonali, let me explain what I'm talking about, okay? When you pull up the registry, you're going to see a map with addresses. This is what most people do wrong. They see a house they like and they immediately cross that house off the list. Don't do that, friends. Here's what you need to assess instead. Density versus proximity. See, density means how many registered offenders are in the broader area. If you zoom out and you see 50 offenders across a 10-mile radius, that's one thing. If you see 2 offenders in that same area, that's another thing. Proximity means how close is the nearest offender to the specific property you're considering. There's a big difference between someone living 3 houses down and someone living a half a mile away. And here's the thing that most people don't know. These registries have serious limitations. First, they only show people who have been convicted and registered. They don't show people who haven't been caught or people whose offenses didn't require registration. Second, the information isn't always current. Someone might have moved and not updated their address, or they might have been removed from the registry for various legal reasons. So what I'm saying is this: use the registry as one data point, not the only data point. Don't let the presence of one registered sex offender override everything else you know about a neighborhood. And definitely don't assume that the absence of an offender means that you don't need to do other research or you don't need to take other safety precautions, okay? This is part of your overall due diligence. It's not the whole part, but it is part of the overall due diligence. All right, now let's talk about school rating websites. A lot of people use sites like GreatSchools.org or niche.com to judge neighborhoods, and I need to be really honest with you about something. Those ratings are also limited. Here's what the research actually shows. School rating websites often reflect the demographics and income levels of the families who attend the school more than they reflect the quality of teachings or the programs that are offered. You might see a school with a 4 out of 10 rating and you assume that means bad teachers or outdated facilities. But when you dig into the data, what you'll often find is that the school serves a higher percentage of low-income students or English language learners, and the rating system penalizes schools for that. That doesn't mean that the school is bad. It means the rating is reflecting test scores, not teaching quality. And test scores are influenced by a lot of factors that have nothing to do with how good the school actually is. So here's what I recommend instead. Use those websites as a starting point, but not the final word. If you see a school with a low rating, don't write it off automatically. Go deeper. Visit the school's official website. Look at their programs. Do they offer advanced placement classes? Do they have strong arts or STEM programs? What do parents say in the most recent reviews? See, those are the things that are going to give you a bigger overall picture. Better yet, if you can, visit the school in person. Talk to the principal. Walk the hallways. That's going to tell you more than any number on a website ever could tell you. And here's the other side of this. A high rating doesn't guarantee it's the right fit for your child either. A school with a 9 out of 10 might have great test scores, but might not offer the specific program that your kids need, or the environment might not be a good fit. See, the point is this: don't use school ratings as a proxy for neighborhood safety or quality. They're not designed to measure that. They're designed to measure test performance, and those are 2 very different things. Does that make sense? See, friends, if you want reliable school data, go straight to the source. In Virginia, you can use the Virginia Department of Education School Quality Profiles. That's the official state data, and it breaks down everything from student achievement to teacher qualifications to school safety metrics. That's where you want to start, okay? Now, friends, listen, y'all know that I love selling some real estate, okay? I love Hampton Roads, but I love you making an informed decision even more. I'd rather teach you how to research for yourself than tell you what to think. See, that's stewardship. So here's what I want you to do before you make any decisions about a neighborhood, and before you call me and say, Sonali, is this neighborhood safe? Pull up the crime map, filter it by date and crime type, compare it to other areas, and look for patterns. Check the sex offender registry, but focus on density and proximity, not just the presence of one dot. And if you're looking at schools, go deeper than the rating websites. Visit the official school websites, read the state data, and if you can, visit the school in person. Ask families in the neighborhood what their opinions of the schools are. Now, these tools give you data, but data only tells you part of the story. The other part, you need to go see it for yourself. And I don't mean just drive by one time. I mean visit the neighborhood multiple times at different times of the day and look for the things that the data can't tell you. Now, in my next video, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for when you do those drive-bys. There are 5 things you need to check before you buy a house in Hampton Roads, and most people miss at least 3 of them, okay? So don't skip that video. It could save you from buying in the wrong neighborhood. Friends, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Your support absolutely means the world to me. I love connecting with people inside and outside of the Hampton Roads area. So if you want to get in touch with me, all you have to do is reach out via text. You can text me at 757-837-0096. I would love to answer any questions that you have. And you can also just drop a comment below and let me know what burning questions you have about living in Hampton Roads. I'll be happy to make a video to explain anything that you need me to explain. Thanks so much for your support, friends. I'll see you in the next video, and God bless you.